they've done this. They would go
Hundreds
into
of years.
You get the CIA. They go into Guatemala. And
British imperialism
They
is
kill
all
the
about it.
peasants.
Yeah.
They go into Vietnam, and they plan the war ahead. I think people have to understand that there's a big plan in action before the war, and it's always not what you think it is. I mean, these poor young men go out there to fight these wars.
Yeah.
We're talking about 18, 20-year-olds.
Yep.
All the families that have lost their sons.
Yep.
I mean, for nothing. And they use the word sacrifice. Sacrifice for what?
Now,
For the papacy?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
So let's just go back. We have this George Moore. Supposedly he's called an ex-spy, colorful man. It says genial man of mystery, Canadian found dead in Turks and Caicos. So
what do you think he knew?
He's another man to add to the death list. The death list.
Yeah,
have been growing.
he is on a death list.
Yeah, he's on the death list.
He's another one that's on one of those death lists.
Yeah. Now Germany is offering Swiss secrets. The finance minister says the government will buy bank account data if the law allows. So they want to get their hands on more of that money that's in secret Swiss bank accounts.
They do. They're always looking for money, aren't they?
Yeah.
Money is the root of all evil. Oh, did you know that we're being poisoned? Did you know that?
Well, we've talked about it.
Well, we're being poisoned, and it's something that most people think is very benign, something that they don't really think about, they don't realize. And you know what it is? It's fluoride.
Oh, yes.
It's fluoride. And you've also got, and I don't think, you've got the third world countries that have problems with their water. It's unsafe to drink. So they've got problems with amoebic dysentery and other illnesses. Now, in the U.S., believe it or not, it's rat poison that you get in drinking water. Did you know that? Rat poison. And fluoride. So the fluoride in the drinking water and prescription drugs are in the water. That's what people are drinking.
Right.
Some of the side effects are attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity or passive malaise, Alzheimer's disease, and senile dementia. These are all side effects of all the garbage that's in the water, mainly fluoride. And they did studies in 1910 about what fluoride does to you. And you know who actually created it?
Yeah, the Nazis did. Yeah,
they did.
It makes the mind docile.
Yeah, to dope people up. And that's in our water. It cracked and brittle teeth, bones, osteoporosis, hip fracture. It just increases the hip fracture rates, reduces intelligence, and increases learning disability. We have a lot of people out there on Ritalin, don't we, Lenny?
Yes. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Ignatieff and bringing in this attack. If you had an attack on the Vancouver Olympics, you could bring in conscription in Canada, which would divide Quebec from the rest of English Canada.
Yeah.
Now, this CIA spy, Norm Spector, look at his name, Spector.
He's got a perfect name. It sounds like a spy name.
Yes, it is a spy name.
Spy name, Mr. Spector.
Spector was the bad guys.
He was, wasn't he?
Of the Bond films.
Yeah.
So they don't even hide it. And he goes, does Michael Ignatieff really want this constitutional dance? So it seems like there's a lot to what we were saying months ago, Mrs. Steele, that there's going to be a constitutional problem. That's why Ignatieff is from a aristocratic family. He's tied in with the Jesuits, and it looks like Norm Spector, who's a inside Jesuit guy, is talking about Ignatieff and leading the way here. So
he's one of those. He's not
he's
an
part of the New World Order.
He's
gang.
one of those upper echelon guys,
Spies,
right? And he's a spy. And no, but I mean Ignatieff. He comes from one of those old families, right? And you know what? Didn't you talk about this many years ago that you felt that Ignatieff would somehow be?
O'Driscoll told us.
That was quite a number of years ago.
Robert O'Driscoll, who was one of the first he was a professor at the University of Toronto, told us back in the 70s that a deal had been cut with the Vatican and the Ignatieff family, and there was favors owed, and that Ignatieff would be the prime minister one day. So, and this, of course, was years ago when it was his father who was a diplomat, George Ignatieff. So we're still everybody's disappeared because everywhere is here and here is everywhere, and when everywhere is here and then everybody is everywhere, and when everybody is everywhere, then nobody is anywhere.
Well,
Everybody's disappeared.
except here at Shock Talk. Now, Lenny, thank you, because the role of the artist is to update consciousness. Thank you so very much. That's great.
And to purify the dialect of the tribe.
And we know that poetry communicates long before it is understood. That's
exactly.
wonderful. I love that. You wrote that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. That's
It's
one of the
great.
laws. That's like the fifth law of
I
media.
mean, it's a law, isn't it?
It's a law.
Can we talk a little bit about that new religion thingy that's
Yes,
happening now? And,
yes,
we've
behind
got Robert Keith Spencer. He wrote the book, The Cult of the All-Seeing Eye.
Yes.
And it's the United Nations Meditation Room, the Temple of Understanding, the Great Seal of the United States, the Prayer Room, and the United States Capitol. Now, that's all about an ancient religion that comes from the adoration of a nameless deity, an unknown God. I think we're heading towards that now, the Gaia Baha'ya Buddhist-like world citizenry religion.
Yes.
And something else I found, it was about the actual sacrifice of Diana and Dodi.
Oh, yes. Let's talk a little
Well,
bit
Diana is really Isis, moon goddess, or Artemis, the Greek one. And so she's the moon goddess, Dodi. But both of them represent two different religions. Diana represents Christianity. Dodi represents Islam. So, I mean, I had never seen that before. Now, I got this information on the web from a young fellow. His name is Rick Clay. He has several YouTube postings. Now, unfortunately, he was killed at the age of 25 doing all of this symbolism. I mean, he figured all of this out. It's quite amazing. So when Diana was killed,
Yep.
we know that it was the Point Dalma tunnel, right? Oh, you've got the Dalai Lama up there.
Well,
So
this
basically,
has to
it's
do
to
with the one
bring,
world religion.
you know what, it's to bring the East and the West together, which is Christianity and the Muslim religion, to create one world religion, right? So here's the Dalai Lama.
Now, this
wow.
has to do with one world religion because
Yep.
he's going to be one of the guys bringing it in. They've been planning this for hundreds of years.
Long
and
time.
This is the 14th Dalai Lama, and you can see this picture of him right here, Mrs. Steele.
With the swastikas?
With the swastikas. Exactly. And let's just go through now. Here he is. Here he is.
With his best friend.
Look at him smiling there. Look at, isn't he cute?
Oh, he's so
Look at
cute.
him.
He
Here
likes to
is
sleep
with
a lot.
Heinrich Harrar. Harrar was in on the Jewish genocide with Hitler. He was part of the mobile killing squads.
Isn't that horrible?
Now,
Isn't that
Mrs.
just
Steele,
like nasty?
if you were looking for a spiritual advisor for a peaceful religion, would you go to a guy who was part of Hitler's crew? Seems like an odd place to find a spiritual man.
Well, they're
isn't
an odd couple. Look at them. The odd couple.
it? Here he
Look
is
at
years
them.
ago. That's even longer. Same guys.
Oh, yeah.
Dalai
Buddy buddies.
Lama and Harrar. Here he is in the war. Here he is getting some Jews to clean the streets. Nice guy, eh?
Humiliating
Very
people.
spiritual. Now here he is with the Fuhrer. Here he is with Hitler. So
Oh, wow.
the guy who's the spiritual advisor to Dalai Lama is one removed from the Fuhrer. Well, it's quite a spiritual man. Quite a spiritual man.
Well, they had the Free Tibet
Hitler was-
movement, 1912 to
Free Tibet
1950,
movement. Yeah.
CIA.
All financed by
I
the
mean,
Nazis.
they used the Tibetans to rise up against the Chinese. Now, if you look at the flag at that time, it has the sun, it has the pyramid, it has the lions with the globe. That's the guardian of knowledge. So, I mean, that's like the secret societies. They don't want us to know anything, so they guard the knowledge. But they can't do it very well anymore. So this was all planned, all of it, the movement. I mean, whenever he has a picture taken, usually if he sits with that flag behind him, the halo of the sun is around his head. That's how they do it, don't they? They get you ready for it.
here's the Dalai Lama with Dr. Bruno Berger, a lifelong Nazi and Dalai confidant.